Our names are Afroditi and this is Vladimir. We're the winning team behind the Kaira Looro competition. We come from different corners of Europe. I'm from Greece and Vladimir is from France.
And that's probably the reason why we work well together, is we both have an international experience and we both share similar convictions of how architecture can be at the same time international and at the same time deeply rooted into a specific place and people.
We participated because our brief was connected to a genuine purpose. It was asking us to design a space capable of supporting education, social life, cultural activities within a rural community.
We were also drawn by the possibility that the proposal could go beyond the drawings, and also the fact that it is located in a very interesting geography, social context, so even from the very first sketches we were kind of doing it with a purpose. The fact that it is a humanitarian project was a big motivation for us to participate even more, because we had in mind that it will get built and it will contribute a real cause. We could find this motivation in the design from the very beginning, trying to answer a question: what genuinely will improve the daily life of this place?
So we thought about children needing a safe space and comfortable space to study, about the need for shade during the hottest hours of the day, and about the community, a flexible space for meetings, workshops, celebrations and cultural events. The main idea of our project was the reinterpretation of the traditional impluvium house of Casamance. The dwellings are organized around the central open space where people gather around and rainwater is collected. We took this principle and transformed it into our community center, what we call a shaded landscape for all. So the building forms a semicircular arc around an open amphitheater. Along this arc, the plan unfolds with the library, the study areas, the workshop, an semi-indoor space, the community center, and the service spaces. All of them open towards the center. This allows the indoor and semi-outdoor spaces to work well together rather than function as separate rooms.
Another particular thing that we took from the impluvium house and pushed it further was the importance of the roof. So this very emblematic double-pitched roof helped us unify the entire program and at the same time create particular atmospheres for each indoor-outdoor space and for all the covered spaces as well. The way this works is that we play with the natural slope of the roof to suggest more welcoming entrances, to suggest more private covered spaces, and so creating a more dynamic flow through the whole program, so that we do feel this naturally shaded landscape. We achieve this through using local construction methods as well. So we use bamboo and rammed earth. This allowed us to have enough flexibility to play with the slope of the roof and also at the same time create nice, comfortable, almost natural shade under the roof, while the closed spaces suggest a more warm and nurturing environments where the program can be welcomed. Finally, the rainwater is collected through this roof in the central outdoor space, so we create a celebration of water, celebration of a common life, and truly create a naturally shaded landscape.
The first reaction was disbelief, followed by a great deal of excitement and pride. We had worked very consistently throughout the process, discussing, testing, and refining the project week after week. So it was genuinely moving to see that the idea had connected with the joy. More than the recognition itself, we were glad that our project, grounded in the community, climate, and local identity, had been valued. We also began immediately to imagine the possibility of seeing the design develop and meeting the people who one day will use it.
Architecture can improve the living conditions by creating spaces that are safe, comfortable, accessible, and inclusive for all. We should be honest that architecture cannot solve all the social and geopolitical issues by itself. However, it can create spaces for the community to come together and to provide the necessary conditions for education, for well-being, and so forth. For children, this matters enormously, because it means it can be a nice, quiet space to read a book with a comfortable light. It can be a nice environment when one can meet its friends to play. It can be a nice shade for the hottest hours of the day so that they can play together outside. So in a sense, this shapes an entire childhood. It becomes a place for memories, it becomes a place for game and for laughter. So in this sense, a child's right to education, to play safe, requires a physical place in which this can be exercised. Otherwise, architecture remains only on paper. And in this sense, for us, architecture is putting a roof over a right.
What we value most in the approach of Balouo Salo is that humanitarian intention is always connected to practical actions. Projects are not treated as ideas or images alone. They are considered in relation to real places, real needs, and the genuine possibility of construction. Equally important is the emphasis placed on local materials, local knowledge, and community participation. We believe that this is essential. A humanitarian project should not arrive as a finished answer imposed from the outside. It should develop through listening, through understanding, and through working respectfully through the people who will use and care for the building. It is also long-term. The building continues to function after everyone has returned home, which is perhaps the most difficult thing to do to achieve humanitarian architecture. To know that our drawings may enter a process of that kind is a real privilege. We would like to thank Kaira Looro, Balouo, Salo, and the members of the jury, and everyone involved in organizing the competition.
We are deeply grateful for the recognition and the opportunity to share our projects to a wider audience. Above all, we appreciate the competition that encourages young architects to look beyond form to consider the social responsibility of our discipline. Thank you.
Thank you.